Hey guys, what is going on? As I always seem to ask whenever these videos start, and you better be saying to your monitor, only good things are going on. Anyway, today I got a new watch. And I've noticed one thing about us people who are into things like this. People who are into guns, and this isn't always 100% true, but it seems to be the norm. People who are into guns, are into knives, usually into Zippos, into flashlights, into watches, all that cool stuff, all those cool gadgets and stuff like that. Call them geek things, call them armchair commando things, I don't care, they're cool, I'm interested by them. And one of the things I have been, not collecting, but I've always had for years, is a nice watch. I always have to have a watch with me. Personally, I wear my watch all the time. I sleep with my watch on, I shower with it on, of course I swim with it on. It never comes off, ever. So I have to have a watch that will be able to do all those things. And when I keep buying them, I have yet to be disappointed by a watch. But one that I have really wanted for a long time is a Luminox. I've wanted a dive watch for a while. I don't dive myself, but I just have wanted one because while I don't dive, I am a lifeguard. I am a certified American Red Cross lifeguard, and that's what I do as my job, just to make money until later this year. I actually plan on making a career out of becoming a police officer, or at least, looking into that. I've wanted to be a cop for a while, but that's beside the point. But I am a lifeguard right now, so I have to have a watch that is waterproof. It has got to be waterproof. It has to be able to get banged up, and I know this is the old one. This is the new one that I'm going into. I know that the old one has been banged up a few times. I was actually pulling somebody out of the pool one time who he decided it would be a good idea to swim a 50 underwater, and well, that might seem easy to you. He got the 25 down, came back, made it all the way to the wall, and passed out. And yeah, we had to yank him out of the water, and I know that my watch was banged around on the wall, and it's still ticking just fine. Anyway, so I used to be a Timex guy. I used to get Timex watches all the time, and I was really disappointed in Timex's service last time I tried to go get a Timex watch. I wanted to switch over to these metal band watches because I think they look a little bit better than the synthetic rubber bands. And I was really disappointed. I got broken watches, and their customer service wasn't that great at all. So I got a Casio, analog digital. Has the analog hands and the digital display, and of course, night light, everything you're gonna need. Water resistant to 100 meters. This has worked absolutely great for me. I love the metal band. It's real comfortable. Everything, but every couple years I upgrade. I've had this watch for about a year and a half now, so I upgraded to the watch that I wanted for a long time, the Luminox watch. And in my opinion, there are 4 tiers of watches. And again, this is just personally me, that you're not going to find this on any website or anything like that, but there are 4 tiers of watches. Oh, I can get my whole hand in the shot. Okay. There are dollar store or real cheap watches. These are the $10 or the dollar store watches. They might have Disney characters on them. They're real bottom of the line. That might be all some people need. They might not wear the watch that much, and they just need something to keep time. That's great. That would never work for me because usually those are not water resistant at all. That's tier 1. Tier 2 is the basic working watch, which are the Timex, the Casio, and the Armatron. That is your second tier. That is an entry level into some of the better watches. And that's all I've had until I got this new one. They're great. They're really affordable. These go from about 40 to $100. They're great. They got some really great features. This one was $75. There's tier 3, which are your Citizens, your Psychos, your Luminoxes, your I don't know if I can think of any on that tier right now, but this is the tier that goes from about $200 to $1,000. And these are your entry-level dive watches, or some of your getting into the really high-end watches. And then tier 4 is you're never going to own that, and some people probably do, but I know I probably never will. The Omegas and the Rolexes. You're talking $5,000 for these watches. James Bond wears an Omega Seamaster watch, and those things go for about $5,000. Rolex Submariners, those go for $5,000. They might be worth it because they might be able to go down 10,000 meters, but nothing I would ever need. But anyway, enough of that. I can't believe I've been talking for almost 5 minutes on a little bit of background on these watches and my philosophy on these watches. But anyway, what I am moving to now. This is the old one I'm getting out of, this Casio Anti-Digi. Great, it served me fine. But like I said, I had money left over after I bought the AR-15. If you watch my other videos, you know about that, the M4. I want to get a Luminox, and I had the money to go get it, so I said, why not? I'm never going to get one otherwise, so I got myself a nice Luminox watch. If you don't know, the Luminox name is what a lot of the Navy SEALs use, and don't tell me that that's just a gimmick, because my dad was a Navy SEAL himself. He was in the Navy for 23 years, and he was a Navy SEAL. And he himself didn't use a Luminox. He used a Casio G-Shock, which is very popular among the SEALs. But I also know from that some people do in fact use the Luminox watches. So don't tell me that's just a marketing ploy. I don't care. Like I said, I have enough connection with the Navy SEAL, with my dad being in, and tell me the stories about him, that I don't care if it's actual Navy SEAL or not. But I do know that some of them use them. So anyway, here we go. Like always, what do you get in the package? I got this today. I ordered it yesterday. Yay, Amazon, $4 for overnight shipping. You get this little sleeve. The nicest watch case I've ever seen, that I've ever purchased. I mean, I've seen nicer ones, but the nicest watch case I've ever purchased. Luminox logo on there. By the way, Lumi is, I believe, Latin. I'm not sure. I believe it's Latin for light, and Nox is night, so light at night. You unzip it. And this little rubber tag was on the watch, a little display tag, and it was held on there by this. Real nice padded case that this thing came in. No instructions, which was a little disappointing, but I guess, you know, simplicity is king. And of course, I have it on my wrist, because I never take my watches off, but I will take them off this time to show you guys. The watch. This is the Luminox Colormark 5053 watch. See if I can zoom out and then just bring this close. Okay, there we go. Okay, now what was I saying? Okay, I was saying this is the Luminox 5053 Navy SEAL EVO watch, dive watch. Has all the features I need. It doesn't have to have digital like the other one. You know, I think the analog hands look a little more classy. Has the date window. It has what makes a Luminox, which are these gas-filled tritium vials at every single one of the hours, in the hands, including the second hand, and in the little bezel right there. They're gas-filled tritium vials. That means that you'll be able to see them in complete darkness, no matter if you charged it up or not. You don't have to take a light and do one of these things. Oh, you know, let me charge it up so I can see it. You don't have to do any of that. You can leave this in the drawer for 5 years, come back, and it'll still be as bright as it was before. These vials last for 25 years. That's how long they'll stay bright, and that's really great for diving. Like I said, a lot of people actually do use these for scuba diving. So, you know, if you're down underwater where it's real dark for a while, the lights on this face will never fade. And that was a really important feature for me, because I like the Indiglow or the illuminator on these Timexes and the Casios, but if I just want to look down and not have to press a button or anything like that, and this also takes a lot of battery. If you do that a couple times a day, your battery's not going to last that long. This battery will last about 4 years. It has the unidirectional bezel on it, so you can rotate this face here, only counterclockwise. That's important because it's used for if you're going to time dives and you need to know how much air you have left in your tank. You set the minute hand up with that little dot right there, which also has a tritium vial in it, so it'll glow. And say you're going to be down there for 15 minutes. Okay, you set that there, you'll know how long 15 minutes is. But it only turns in one direction, so in case you accidentally bump it, that it'll only turn counterclockwise, so you'll give yourself less time. If you know that you have to stop 15 minutes from now, and you're right there, and it turns, you know, right there, you're going to think, hey, I've been down here for 10 minutes, you know, I need to surface soon, as opposed to if you turn it the other way, which it won't let you do because it's unidirectional, you will think that you have been down there for less time than you actually have. You'll think, oh, I've only been down here for 5 minutes, when in reality you've been down there for 15, and you'll be running out of air, which could be a very dangerous, very dangerous thing. On the back, by the way, this is rated for 200 meters. I'm never going to go that deep, but like I said, I am a lifeguard, so it has to be able to take impacts in the water, it has to be able to take the pressure that I'm going to be able to deal with, because I don't ever take my watch off, especially when I'm making a rescue or something like that. I'm not going to take my watch off and if I'm going to go swimming, I never take it off because I will lose it. I have faith that I will lose it. On the back, on the case back, you probably can't see that. You can see it there. It's the Navy SEALs Trident. It's a is it an eagle or something like that, holding a trident with a Navy anchor on there. It says Swiss made, Luminox. This is made in Switzerland. You know, just like the Rolexes. That's where obviously they make the finest timepieces in Switzerland. 200 meters water resistant. Never going to go that deep, but again, like I said, lifeguarding, very good to know that I can. Polycarbonate case, polyurethane. It's not metal, but it's polyurethane. The reason that you don't want to make it out of something like a soft metal like gold is because when you go down deep enough, you could actually crush the watch if the metal is soft enough. And a mineral crystal, which means this crystal right here is hardened mineral as opposed to just something like acrylic. You know, so it won't show scratches as much. It's a real big watch compared to my other one. You can see that which one's bigger, the strap's thicker and everything like that. The strap is the rubber kind, but I will be getting a metal strap for this. It's a $50 metal strap. By the way, while we're talking about prices, this watch was $75, MSRP right around $100. But like I said, this is into the next tier. This is a $300 watch right here. $300 MSRP on this, and the band is another $50. So when I get this, I think I look back because I made a comment in the other video about the AK-47s. If I add a strap to this, and if I would have paid the MSRP, I could have bought an AK-47 or I could have bought this watch. But I am a huge watch fan, and I am not a huge AK-47 fan. So there you go. That should show you something about the prices of the AK-47s and or this watch. It is it's an expensive one. Like I said, it's $300. I got it for a little less than $200 because I bought it on Amazon. But on eBay, the cheapest I saw was about $250. And I have had it in the water. I actually just put it in the bottom of my hot tub, and they say, oh, don't put it in hot, don't put it in cold, don't put it in chlorine. I have taken all my watches in hot, cold, chlorine, salty, whatever. I mean, if the way I see it, if I'm gonna have my watch all the time, on all the time, and it can't handle 100-degree water, 105-degree water, then it's not gonna serve my needs. And no leaks. I have heard other people say that there's condensation under the dial sometime, and they automatically think that it flooded. That's not the case. If you go from hot to cold really fast, it says right in the owner's manual, which you look up online because it doesn't come with it, that condensation will occur if you go from hot to cold real fast. It'll occur right under the crystal there. Other than that, I've heard nothing but good things about these Luminox seal dive watches. People have taken them on scuba dives, as I mentioned, gone down there. Love the fact that you can see the hands in complete darkness, which, as I'm running out of time here, I might as well show you that. I don't know how well it'll come through on the camera, but I've made my room completely dark so we can possibly get a good view of this. Oh yeah, well, you can kind of see it. Let me cover up the little light on the camera. And you can't see it nearly as bright as it is. I mean, you can see it, but you can't see nearly as bright as it actually is. There are blue tritium vials on all the hours except 12, of which there is an orange one. There is an orange tritium vial on the bezel. You can see it over there at the 10 o'clock position right now, above the 10 o'clock position. The hands have orange tritium vials on them, and you can see the second hand ticking right there. Trust me, it's brighter in person. I assure you that. It's kind of hard to come through on this camera, and that's with no charging. I can see that just fine with no charging. I'm gonna turn the light back on. And yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna get another strap for this. I'm gonna get the metal strap, and that's about it. Thanks for watching this little bit on my new watch. You guys have a great day.